Welcome to the Archery Outdoorsman podcast, where you'll find a whole host of outdoor-related topics like hunting, fishing, hiking, to motivational topics and workouts. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. Leave a 5-star review. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All you got to do is type in Archery Outdoorsman. If you want to help out, you can also find us on Patreon. Come and visit us at our website at www.archeryoutdoorsman.com. Enjoy the show.
How's it going? Welcome to the Archery Outdoorsman podcast. This is the first episode. If you really call it an episode, it's more of an introduction. I wanted to give you guys an idea of what it is that you're getting into when you come onto this podcast. I guess start with a little bit of what it is that this podcast is going to encompass. Obviously, it's Archery Outdoorsman podcast. So archery and outdoors is a big part of it. Hunting, huge part of it. Conservation, fishing, basically anything that you can do with the outdoors. Hiking, backpacking, through trips. We're going to be talking about gear. We're going to be talking about wildlife conservation. We're going to hopefully be talking to wildlife biologists, game wardens, fish and wildlife individuals, other hunters. We'll talk about guides. We'll talk to guides. You name it. I mean, basically, it's free form. It could be one day we'll be just laughing, cutting up, and talking about the freedoms that we have here in this country. And another minute we might be another podcast. We might be talking about the grizzly bear and how it's been delisted. So got a whole gambit of things to keep you guys entertained, and it'll definitely entertain me along the way. Got a whole list of guests that we're going to be talking to. Had the opportunity to take a brand new hunter this last season into the backcountry, Montana, Idaho, and he had never hunted before, definitely never bow hunted before, and took him on a pre-rut archery elk hunt. Got a shot at 2 different bulls, got a mule deer buck, all public land, which is another thing that we're going to talk about too. Public land is essential. I'd highly recommend that you guys follow backcountry hunters and anglers, and other wildlife organizations like that. They, not just wildlife organizations, they talk about public lands. It's my land, it's your land. Anybody can go out there and, do their thing. They can go hiking, they can go exploring, taking pictures, they can go hunting, fishing, what the hell ever you want to do. That's what they support, and I applaud those guys wholeheartedly, but not to get too much off on a tangent. I am former military, so I'm also going to be talking to other military guys, having to do with the military life and how it pertains to the outdoors and the different heartaches and opportunities that the military offers in regards to outdoor activities. Not in a traditional way, not like you're going training, all that kind of stuff, but recreationally, what they can do in the outdoors. We're going to be talking about getting new hunters, the new generation into the outdoors. Everybody seems to be stuck in, playing Xbox and all that kind of crap. I'm all about getting our kids out, getting them exercise and having fun in the outdoors. There's just so much out there that people just, I mean, it seems like they're losing. And I'd really want to talk to people about getting their kids out there. So I've got a guest and his kid on there on an episode, and man, it's going to be spectacular. We're going to have episodes in the field as well. I've got an episode set up for a Oodad or Barbary sheep hunt in West Texas, sponsoring 2 military guys from Fort Bliss, and we're going out and we're going to be public land Oodad hunting, free range obviously, bow hunting. Going to be a ass-kicking, tough hunt. Don't know if we're going to see anything. Never been out there. I've done e-scouting and stuff like that. They've been out there a little bit looking for sign and stuff like that, but really we don't know what we're going to run into. So it's a true hunting trip, but really the idea is just sponsoring these guys, getting them out there, getting myself out there, and just having fun and just enjoying the outdoors. Going to be talking, like I said, to different game wardens, talking about a huge hot button is invasive species. I'm really looking forward to talking to these different wildlife specialists about what the plan is and how all that fits into managing invasive species like hogs, or in Florida they've got the python. People are just releasing pythons everywhere. Had the crocodile, I guess, that was released in Florida is starting to be a big thing. You've got Oodad in West Texas, New Mexico, all in that area. It's technically an invasive species. Though all of those things are, fun to hunt and all that kind of stuff, they're an invasive species. So I want to get the different perspectives. What is the plan for now with that kind of stuff? I want to talk, to different guides. Got 2 freaking phenomenal episodes, I think, in the works. One of them, a guide was attacked by a grizzly bear, and I don't want to spoil it, but he was attacked like in the 80s. I think it was 85. And so going to talk to him about his experience, and just there's a whole twist and plot and everything that's involved in that. That's going to be a freaking outstanding episode. Do not miss some of these episodes, because don't miss any of them, but definitely not that one. That one is going to be awesome. There's conspiracy theories involved in that one. There's, just outstanding stuff in that one. Another guide that I've started to get to know. He's a new guide. I want to talk to him about the trouble and the pros and cons about being a guide. A lot of people think that the guiding world, oh, you're a guide, you get to go hunting all the time, and it's not really like that. This guy's going to set the record straight. Excited about having him on too. Great guy. We're going to talk about different wildlife cooking and just cooking in general. I love to cook. So we're going to talk to hopefully some different chefs and spitball some recipes, some techniques, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk to different gear manufacturers, from outdoor foods to diets to coffee to all kinds of stuff. Got a special guest. He's a family member of mine. He's the one that got me involved in all this. He's my grandpa, Henry Barron. He was on the forefront of starting block land management in the state of Montana, helped start the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the through some of his efforts as a high-level outfitter in Montana at the time. He's got so many hilarious hunting stories, and he's just a really great guy. And that's not just because I'm biased. He really is. Everybody loves this guy. We're going to talk about fitness in the backcountry, and like I said, diets before, but fitness is huge in the backcountry. The better in shape you are, the easier it's going to be, the more enjoyable your time is. Talk about some of the different things that I've got going on, excuse me, and other people, maybe different techniques, strength coaches. We're going to talk to just all different types of people in the sports and outdoor world, stuff like that. We're going to talk to game call manufacturers. So as you can see, we've got a whole list of people we're going to talk to. And so I really, really hope you enjoy. It's not going to stop there. But just to give you an idea of what this podcast is about, I mean, it's just all encompassing. It doesn't just stop at that. So without further ado, I'll give you my background. My name's Aaron Schmaus. I grew up in a rural town in Montana. My background basically was sports and stuff like that. Was mainly wrestling. I did everything so that I could wrestle. I was decent. I say I was a decent wrestler. Loved it. Tried out for the Air Force wrestling team, which brings me to my next point. I was combat Air Force veteran. Did some time overseas. Was medically separated due to an injury in Afghanistan. After the military, I worked several jobs doing maintenance. I owned a construction company for 7 or so years. And though I found that I was helping people doing some of those things, it wasn't the sort of helping that I wanted to do. I wanted to have a meaningful impact for the future, not just oh, okay, well, I'm fixing up your house so you can enjoy it. I wanted something that would last for a long period of time for my kids, where they could go out and enjoy the outdoors and have a place to go and have fun and just kind of have the same experience that I did. In Montana, there's a crap ton of public land, so you can go out and have all kinds of fun all over the place. So that's mainly why I started doing the outdoor videography and stuff like that with hunting and stuff like that. And training videos and gear reviews and stuff like that was so that I could help other people. And I had, just real quick side note, I had probably one of the best compliments that I could have ever had, and I wasn't looking for it. I was at the gym, I was working out, I was carrying a bag, a Mystery Ranch Metcalf, had a sandbag in it, ended up being 70 pounds, and an older gentleman comes over to me. He could obviously tell there was something physically wrong with him, and so I stopped and we talked for a while, and he goes, so what are you doing? And so we just got to talking about what it was that I was doing, why I was working out the way I was working out, and because it's not a normal thing. You don't normally see somebody in the gym with a 70-pound pack. And so I told him everything that I was doing, and I'm actually training to beat a world record. I'm not going to tell you which one yet. You'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, he goes, that's fascinating, because when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, I had over 100 ways to kill myself. And a friend showed me these motivational videos, and it was because of people like you and these motivational videos and just seeing that there was more to life than this disease. He said, before I couldn't walk to the end of the block. He said, now I run 5 miles a day with Parkinson's. Former Vietnam vet, had a gunshot wound to the chest, and shrapnel and all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, this is a tough guy, and he got hit with Parkinson's, and I mean, it was just like rip your heart out hearing that story. And he goes, it was because of the things that you're doing right now that helped me, and not me individually, just people like me providing motivation. So that was the best compliment I could have ever gotten, and it really pushed me to want to do more and help as many people as I can. So you just never know who you're helping with what you're doing and what you're saying. And so maybe you don't think about the ancillary effects of a diet that you're going on, and then you tell a friend or a couple friends or something like that, maybe a friend's overweight or self-conscious about their body or something like that, and you're like, yeah, I went on this diet or whatever, I lost 10 pounds so far and started working out, and all of a sudden they're like, shit, I can do that too. And then they start doing it, and maybe they go from being severely depressed and you don't even know about it to just completely changing their life. So that's something else that I want to talk about on this podcast too, is the motivational side of things. So anyway, that's why I got involved with what I'm doing, is because I truly and genuinely want to help people. So the people that started me out on this journey started when I was really young. My grandpa, we lived with my grandpa for a while, and he was an outfitter in Montana, and he really engulfed me into the outdoors. I mean, we would go on fishing trips and hunting trips and all kinds of stuff like that, even before I was old enough to hunt. Montana, you have to be 12, but before I was even able to hunt, we'd go on fishing trips, hunting trips. We'd go out and shoot gophers, and just he would take us out shooting ducks and geese, and as he'd shoot them out of the sky, my brother and I, we'd run over and we'd try and catch them as they're falling, and just all of the different things that he provided. He taught us to love the land and love the animals and stuff like that, and so that was a great thing. And then once I was able to really start hunting, my grandpa had moved to South Carolina, and my Uncle Joe had started me out in bow hunting, and man, that was a game changer for me. I absolutely fell in love with bow hunting. I'm not a professional hunter. I'm not even really a great shot. I get the job done, but man, that was outstanding. The journey that my family had put me on. So anyway, just to give you an idea of what my background is, I was on search and rescue in Montana. I did first response when I was in high school. There were some tearjerkers and stuff like that, but man, search and rescue was it was such a rewarding job. So, we'll be talking a little bit about survival, wilderness survival, stuff like that, and hopefully talk to some experts in the field about wilderness survival. I think that would be outstanding and maybe save your guys' life one day. So anyway, I truly, truly hope you follow along, you subscribe to this podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You can contribute to Patreon if you want. You don't have to. But if you want to, that would be absolutely great. I am also announcing officially my new book that I just wrote. I'll put it right up here. It is the 10 Rules for Finding a Good Hunting Partner. It will be released on March 1st. We're going to start doing some giveaways and stuff like that. Somebody's going to get a free signed copy of my book. So definitely stay tuned, and I really hope you guys enjoy the content.